My name is Eva, and I am a certified canine behavior consultant, and you are watching day 6 of awareness 14 days of opportunity to deepen the bond with your dog. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, pause this video, go to day 1, and start there. I am really excited about today's task. I really loved this exercise and I hope you will too. And I hope you will learn a lot from it. We humans tend to believe that like each of us, is 100% sure that we communicate everything clearly with humans and also with our dogs. And that if the dog is not listening to what we are trying to communicate to them, it's because the dog is being difficult, they are stubborn, they want to be the boss, whatever. But I know that I can say for myself and for human relationships that I have that even with humans, there can be like glitches in the communication and that people don't perceive things the way I wanted them to come out to be the way that I wanted them to be communicated. And that already shows us that communication is not as simple as we might think. And communicating with a species that doesn't speak the same language that we do is even more complex, and there is even more opportunity for misunderstanding. For us humans, it is crystal clear what we mean when we say no to our dog or stop doing that. But from the dog's point of view, that might not be as clear as we might think, because there can be countless other variables that we don't even notice because we know we said no or live it because we don't want them to eat the poop, jump on us, and so on. And on top of that, we tend to be very inconsistent. Sometimes we say no, sometimes we say nothing, sometimes we say no earlier or later, and that can also affect how the dog perceives what we are trying to communicate. And on the other hand, we might be saying no or stop that or leave it for things that are a perfectly natural canine behavior. And today's task will explore that way of communication that we think is perfectly crystal clear to the dogs. So I invite you to step into a dog's perspective and experience just how unclear our communication can actually be when dogs are usually left to guess what we want from them. So you will need another person for this task. And once you find that other person, think of one action you want the other person to do. For example, you don't say it out loud, just think it in your head. For example, jumping on their right leg, turning off the bedroom light. It can be whatever. It can be the most random thing. And the other person must figure out what you want them to do by trying out different things. For example, going into another room, picking up something, sitting down. So they perform different actions in order to figure out what you want them to do. So what the correct action is. And when they do the wrong thing, So instead of turning off the bedroom light, they sit down, you say no. And to make the experience even more authentic, you can use a firm voice when you say no. But keep in mind that the person on the other side will likely feel very uncomfortable, just as dogs do so. And you also don't have to be consistent. So you don't have to say no every time they do the wrong thing. And this guessing ends when the other person either figures out what you want from them or when they say that they had enough and that they don't want to guess anymore. Once again, our dogs don't have that kind of privilege. And then you switch roles so that you will have both points of view. Write down how you felt in both roles and also how the other person felt, again, in both roles. And if you feel like sharing the experience of this day, of this task, please write it down in the comments because I am really interested in how you will find it. Because I know that it really opened a lot of unpleasant doors for me. It really brought up a lot of uncomfortable questions, but it really changed in a good way how I interact with my dog. So I hope it will be as transforming for you too. So see you on day 7.